What's up, guys? It's very, very early, and I have to be kind of quiet. It's like 4:30 a.m. What we are doing is something I've never done before. I'm bidding through a car importer on a 1992 RX-7, and it is JDM AF. It's actually so JDM. It's in JDM. So we're bidding on a car here in Japan, and you can see. So right now. The bid is at 302,000 yen, and so I'm texting right now with the guy that's doing all the bidding for me. He's on an airplane bidding on his cell phone. I'm back here on the computer watching. So let me show you this car. This is what we know about this car right now. It's an RX-7. It's 92. It's allowed to be imported to the United States in August. We don't know if it runs. We don't know how it drives. Right now the engine doesn't work, they say. It's right-hand drive. And there's a couple other stats on here that I could bring up. It's got some aftermarket parts. It's really hard to tell what the history of this car was. And this could be a really bad situation where the owner just basically pulled the battery out of a broken engine or a seized engine and just said, well, I can't make it work, whatever. So the way that this auction works is, if you're the high bidder, or if you make if a new high bid is registered, a 10-minute clock counts down. So we bid up to 300,000 yen, and it got chased up to that number. Now, 100,000 yen is essentially $1,000, so we're basically saying $3,000. And it got up to that 300,000 yen pretty quickly. So once it registered again at 300,000 yen, the auction had about 5 minutes left. We put in another bid of 500,000 yen, so that's what we're seeing on the screen. Unfortunately, this webpage doesn't even have like an auto refresh thing, so I have to keep smashing the refresh button. But this number here in orange is how many yen is the bid. So anywhere from the 300 range up to the 500,000 yen range, which will get us at about $4,700 if I'm doing my internal calculations correctly, is going to be meaning we're winning. So the clock is now counting down from 10. And if it counts all the way down and it's under 500,000, then I know that we won the car. So I'm very nervous. It's just a waiting game right now to see if we're gonna make it. This car is very unique because, as a lot of you guys know, that a car has to be 25 years old or older to import into the United States without going through a whole lot of red tape. So this car is an August car. Today is May. Today's Mother's Day, May 14th, 2017. By the time it gets on a cargo container and it actually makes it to the United States, it will actually be 25 years old and be able to easily be registered to drive in the United States. So these cars are pretty unique at this time because there's not a lot of them, obviously, in the 92 range that are still alive, blah, blah, blah. So I'm really, really excited to try and get this car. So somebody bid 342,000 yen, even though we're supposed to be at 500,000, and it bumped the timer up to 10 minutes again. All right, so I just heard back from Trevor, and apparently the rules are a little bit different on this auction, and any significant bid actually bumps the timer. So, so we're still in the lead at 300, or it's at 342,000. Now, let me double check the timer. It's 5 minutes and 41 seconds now, and that's how long is left, and we're still in the lead at 342. 500,000 yen, by the way, for Japan standards, is a lot more than a busted RX-7 in Japan seems to sell for. These cars go for very cheap over there, which is very cool. Look at that ass. This car's got one of the best back ends. The body lines on this car are quite timeless. I really think that it's going to be a good collector car. It's going to be a car that I keep for a long time. 3 minutes 22 seconds left, and we're in the lead. I'm getting so nervous. 50 seconds left. So if no one bids, no one makes a significant bid, this clock's going to count all the way down, and we'll have won the car at 342,000 yen. 40 seconds left. 10 seconds. Now this is much more like a Copart auction. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Auction has ended. It's probably what that says in Japanese. Auction termination. I believe we just won this car at 342,000 yen. I just got my first JDM car. Got my right-hand drive 1992 RX-7. There may be a lot of hidden things that need to be worked on in this car, but I'm so excited. It's a long time before I even get to see this car, but how cool is this? I'm gonna have one of the first. Now I know other people have been importing RX-7s in the United States. I've seen right-hand drive RX-7s, but as far as the new wave of cars that are gonna come over, because they're now 25 years old, I'm gonna have one of the first of the 92s. I'm so stoked. This is so cool.
Is it time? It's time. It's time. I can unveil the car. Here it is. You know what? This is too American for this. Cheers. Who would have thought I don't like sake? I did not remember that I don't like sake. It's like champagne. They go well together. Not in my mouth. I got one last idea. Yogurt flavored soda. From Japan. That's the ticket. That's it. That's what we're celebrating with. That'll be the yoga flavored soda and Grey Goose cocktail. Cheers. Cheers to Japan, boats, and things. I got an RX-7. That was a good cocktail. Caught a little bit of a buzz. This car has been a bucket list item of mine pretty much my entire life. Going all the way back to the Fast and the Furious days, wondering like, what does Dominic Toretto drive? And learning all about it, learning about the rotary engine and how like high it revs and all the interesting things about it. I've always wanted one. I've never really been able to afford one until the day like Trevor from JDM Buyer, he hit me up. He said, Chris, I found this car in Japan. I think you should have it. I can help you get it over here, etc., etc. And I just kept going with it, hoping, fingers crossed. And then one day it just shows up in my driveway and I have my RX-7 and it's rough. It's really rough. But I'm really, really happy it's really rough because this car is gonna undergo an amazing transformation. I'm sure it has a really interesting story from back in Japan, but the way that it's been right now, I can tell that it has sat for a very, very long time. And from what I've learned right now, I'm thinking that it was probably the mileage taxes and the emission taxes and the safety standards in Japan that kept this car off the road. It's also what probably drove the price to be so low because it was way more expensive to get it back on the road than it would have been to just sell it and get rid of it. So then goes from Japan, gets sold to us, goes on a boat across the ocean over to the Pacific, actually landed in Texas, I believe, from Texas to here to me. And that's just the beginning of its journey, really, because now it's going to undergo a really amazing transformation. I mean, this type of car is, I think for a lot of us builders and tuners, we can all see the potential in a car like this, and it's kind of just like a dream. It's like, great. I get the great value because the car looks like a hunk of crap. Nobody on the street would ever want this car that doesn't know what they're doing, but we do, I do, a lot of you guys do, and then we just apply our skill to it and we're going to have like an amazing car at the end. So I'm stoked. So this build and this car was made possible by my friend Trevor over at JDM Buyer. Now Trevor owns two companies that I'm going to talk about both of them throughout this build. This entire build is sponsored by his two companies, which are JDM Buyer and RB Motoring. And for now I'm going to focus on JDM Buyer because that's the primary one, but what they do is really important. It's a big influencer on the JDM importing market, and I think what he's doing is really awesome, and that's why I wanted to partner with him for this build. So what his company does is it allows you, the consumer, to find your JDM parts that you want at auction, buy them at auction for whatever the market price is over there. So for instance, RX-7, $3,000 over there. You can imagine how cheap some parts are. They go for very inexpensive over there. And then he has a really cool shipping setup where he does kind of group buy space in cargo containers. So as everybody buys up their parts, wheels are going in there, you know, front splitters are going in there, bumpers are going in there, half cuts, whatever you guys want. They go in the shipping container. Once the shipping container is full, then he sends it over. So you only pay for a fraction of the cost of the standard shipping over from Japan, because it's shipping that'll really like kill you. So it's a very, very cool thing that he's doing. I'll talk about it more in depth as we go through the build process. I will be talking to you guys about that. And what he does with RB Motoring is things like this, where he brings in entire cars. He has entire JDM cars sitting in his inventory right now. So I'm going to put a link to both of those companies actually in the description, and I'll get into some of the really cool details about them in later episodes. But for now, I just want to say thanks so much to Trevor over at JDM Buyer. He made this possible. I really wouldn't have had the confidence to buy myself at auction without knowing anything. I mean, it goes into importing a car is a very extensive process, because so you buy it from the guy on eBay and he's like, okay, come get it. I wouldn't have even understood those words on the phone when he says, okay, come get it, 'cause I don't speak Japanese. So they got people that can go get the car, get it over to the yard, get it on the freight, and et cetera, and then the paperwork when it gets here. All that cool stuff can be handled for parts or cars by him and his companies, and I think it's very important. And he's the only person that can allow you to do the live bidding yourself through his website on parts, which is amazing. So I think that's a huge breakthrough, and I think it's very, what's the word? I want to say ingenuitive, and I don't think that's a word, but I used to use it a lot in software. So that's, yeah, okay, whatever. All right, guys, that's about enough talking. Tomorrow, we'll bust into this car and figure stuff out about it. I have had this car for a little bit, but I have not gone through it. There are parts inside the car. I don't know what they are. I haven't looked through the interior. All I know is that it ran for about 35 seconds and then it stopped running and it never started. I spent the first 3 hours of today just pushing this thing in the car. I actually had to tow it a little bit with the FJ, which I've never done before. So that was interesting. One last thing that's coming along with this RX-7 is an LS1. No, I'm totally kidding. I'm keeping it rotary. One thing that's going to come along with this is a bit of a format change. I promised Chelsea on March 26th that we could drive down to Disneyland, and I told her that we'd be doing it in this car. Well, today is March 6th, so I'm going to have to work my ass off. I was planning on starting this car a whole week ago, so I thought I would have 4 weeks to work on it. Instead, now I have about 3 weeks to work on it. I got about 20 days. So I thought it'd be really cool to try out doing a video every single day. So the subject will still be cars in the shop, working on the car. This is a way that I just want to try this to motivate myself, kick my ass in the shop, working every day as hard as I can, go, 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 go. Because I really feel like, as far as just in life, that's when I feel the best, is when I'm really like pushing it, really working my ass off. So that's what I want to do, and so I'm going to try. I'm going to try my hardest to make a video for you guys, well, and myself, every single day about the process of this car. And if I can do it, I want to pull it off and have this car done, being an awesome running, driving, whatever car by the 26th. Now, if the engine is toast, which I don't know if it is or it isn't, that probably won't happen, but who knows? We'll find out. And I'm going to try my hardest, and that's the game plan. So there's going to be, that's probably Chelsea right there. Yep. There's going to be a bit of a format change, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys will come along for the ride. Just the episodes will be a little bit shorter. I'm going to aim for 10 to 12 minutes in length every single day, and I hope that you guys can just make it something cool that, you know, you just take a break out of your day every day and just go, oh yeah, like today, let's see how Chris is doing today with the RX-7. I hope it's something that's enjoyable for you guys, and that you come along and keep supporting the channel with all the awesome views and kind words and all the other great stuff that you guys have been doing lately. If we can keep that going, I mean, it would be awesome. It'd be awesome for motivation for this build. It'll get done faster. We can get on to the next build, which I know you guys are gonna love. Chelsea, chill out. And it'll be great support for the channel as well. So, by the way, I did want to mention that the 3 cars that I wanted to sell are sold. Operation Get My Mama's Money Back was a total success. We sold out of every single piece of merch, I believe, or pretty close to, in the online store. And Chelsea and I are working our asses off with shipping those out right now. And all the cars, the Mustang, the Plan B BRZ, and the S2000 are all sold. And I got to take a fat stack of cash over to my mom and give it back to her so she can put her retirement money back in her retirement plan where it belongs. And I'm very, very thankful to you guys and proud of myself for making that happen. So I own the house now, 100% all mine by myself. Big kid status. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Tomorrow we're gonna jump into the car. I have not gotten into the car at all, like I said, and we're gonna start trying to figure out what's wrong. I'll give you guys another hint of something that's wrong. Every time I turn the key on every time I attach the power, all the emergency lights go off. might have to rewire this whole thing. I have no idea. But I'm looking forward to it. So stay tuned. I'll see you tomorrow. A video tomorrow, a video after that, a video after that, video after that, and after that, after that. The next day. Promise? And there'll be another video after that, after that, and after that. Probably put out another video after that.